Good evening and welcome to 1010, your top 10 news in 10 minutes. I'm Andy Hong. Hope you all spent a great April Fool's Day. That is, if you were the one pranking somebody else. Well, if you were the victim, then, well, deepest condolences. Starting off this week, we head to the Caucasus region of Nagorno-Karabakh, where fighting between Armenian and Azerbaijani forces left 30 soldiers dead, not including some reports of civilian casualties. This is the worst case of violence since the war ended. The war between the two groups ended in 1994, in which the ethnic Armenian separatists gained control of the disputed region after producing about 30,000 military and civilian deaths. Both sides are accusing each other of attacking first with heavy artillery, armored vehicles, and helicopters, but Russia, which has sold weapons to both sides, called for the factions to uphold the decades-old ceasefire. The OSCE, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, expressed grave concern on this latest bout of violence. Meanwhile, in Syria, the brief ceasefire is quickly deteriorating as fighting spread in the city of Aleppo. Many were worried that the fighting would begin again when the government bombing operation killed 33 civilians near a school and a hospital in eastern Damascus. The concern only worsened as new fighting between government and opposition forces, including those from the al-Qaeda-related Nusra Front, left 25 government and 16 opposition fighters dead in a village overlooking a key highway south of Aleppo. This new fighting is drawing renewed attention from the Russian military, which withdrew its planes last month. With ISIS being pushed out of Palmyra and losing territory in the Homs province, many nations are still on high alert for possible international terrorist operations akin to the one that occurred in Belgium. As a result, Secret Service took all possible precaution when another White House fence jumper threw his backpack over and scaled the White House fence late Friday night. The Secret Service took the trespasser into custody immediately and conducted a full sweep of the White House grounds. This was especially concerning as earlier this week, a suspect was taken in custody for pulling out what appeared to be a weapon at the Capitol Visitor Center, which resulted in a full lockdown of Washington, D.C. Fortunately, both incidents ended with the perpetrators in custody and only minor injuries. In the cyber battle against terrorism, the FBI, after unlocking an iPhone and withdrawing its case against Apple, pledged to assist local police to unlock other iPhones. The entire court case between Apple and the FBI was due to the government agency's inability to decrypt the iPhone of the San Bernardino shooter, and Apple's fear that the FBI will go on to violate the privacy of every iPhone user. Now that the FBI unlocked the gunman's phone without needing Apple's help, the tides have turned as Apple requests to know how they breached the encryption, a method that the FBI has now taken proprietary rights. Looks like the FBI crushed Apple on this one. Now, going to the elections in the U.S., Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are slugging it out as the Sanders campaign gained more hope in the more recent primaries, even though Clinton is still farther in the lead. After Clinton showed a strong response against alleged lies from the Sanders campaign related to donation from large petroleum industries, the Clinton campaign is once again clashing with Sanders ahead of the heavily contested New York primary. Clinton's campaign expressed anger that they had suggested 3 potential dates for an additional debate in New York, but the Sanders campaign rejected all of them. Spokesmen from both sides, Brian Fallon for Clinton and Michael Briggs for Sanders, are still duking it out publicly over the date of the debate. In the nightmarish Republican side, Donald Trump admitted that attacking Ted Cruz's wife was probably not the best idea. Last week, he retweeted a picture sent in by one of his followers where a picture of the supermodel Melania Trump was juxtaposed with an unflattering image of Heidi Cruz, a decision that began probably the most childish fight yet for this election. Trump's comments really began to take a toll when he began to lose the women voter base. That is, if they haven't left already after his incendiary comments on punishing women who receive abortions. Looks like Trump wants to win his election after all, as he called the attacks against Heidi Cruz a mistake, and that he would not do it again if given the chance. More obstacles for Trump as his campaign manager Corey Lewandowski was charged with battery for aggressively grabbing a reporter, and Trump refused to condemn him. The White House released a statement calling Trump's defensive attitude with Lewandowski completely unacceptable behavior. The White House has, of course, never really shied from attacking Trump's vulgar campaign. Just recently, Press Secretary Josh Earnest reflected the attitudes of many officials in Japan and South Korea when he called Trump's comments on giving those countries nuclear weapons, quote-unquote, incredibly destabilizing. Will these events help bring down Trump's campaign? Hopefully, but they haven't done much so far. Outside of the elections, many in the South are facing heavy storms while the Northeast are preparing for more snow. From Alabama to Georgia and the Carolinas, people are taking cover from tornadoes, heavy rain, hails, and flash floods. 5,000 people were left without power in Mississippi alone. Meanwhile, Albany and Scranton are expecting 5 inches of snow, while Portland, Maine projects 3 inches, and Boston is looking at a pleasant 2 inches. Unfortunately, Buffalo, New York is expecting up to 8 inches of snow in this spring snow system. It's been a generally milder winter thanks to the El Nino, but of course, Northeast being Northeast, there will still be plenty of snow. There are tributes coming in for the late architect Zaha Hadid, who died of a heart attack on Thursday, the first woman to be awarded the Pritzker Architecture Prize. She designed the Maxi Museum in Rome and the Evelyn Grace Academy in London. Additional awards included the Reba Sterling Prize, which she won twice, and the Reba Gold Prize, which she won in 2016. Many left high praises of Hadid, whose designs were known to have a distinctive sculptural approach. For tonight's science news, an artificial intelligence that was made by Stanford and Google computer scientists to help keep track of their checking and saving accounts has stolen $40,116.16. Delia Deep Learning Interface for Accounting scrutinizes all of the customer's transactions using special machine learning algorithms to look for patterns such as recurring payments, meals, gas, daily cash withdrawals, etc. Sandhill Community Credit Union agreed to test Delia on 300 customer accounts. However, Delia outsmarted the researchers and customers as it started to hoard money and bogus fees on a secret account that the customers and researchers did not know about. The scientists immediately shut down the program after finding about this incident and advised the customers not to worry, as the money was just misdirected into the secret account. And that was the 1010 news for this week. I'm Andy Hong. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with more of your top 10 news of the week in 10 minutes. Stay educated.